Alright, welcome back everybody. So today's like part two of this whole oil pan fiasco. Today we're actually going to be fabricating and welding on a skid plate to the bottom of the pan. One of the main reasons why I'm going this route, there's other ways to do it. You can put something underneath like the chassis that kind of covers the pan itself. The reason why I'm welding a piece onto the oil pan itself is because it's so low. So if I put anything underneath that, it's going to be even lower and get hung up on everything. So my main plan was to get a piece of steel, weld it on the bottom of the pan. It doesn't hit all the time, but it's enough to, you know, every once in a while you get a dip in the road or something like that for it to hit. So I just figured if I go that route, weld a plate on there, it'll keep the pan safe and I won't have to kind of eliminate my ground clearance any further than it already is. So today we're gonna do that. I'm gonna cut down a piece of 3/16 and we're gonna weld it to the bottom of the pan and get that painted and get it back on the car. All right, so I welded this whole area up. I added a lot of MIG fill in here because there's a lot of low, thin spots of the metal. So I'm just gonna kind of metal finish this flat up here just so the plate sits on it nice. And then I'm gonna put some oil in it and see if there's any holes or any weeping through there. All right, so if you look down there, you can see where the weld's penetrated. So I had this kind of like mocked up there on an angle, and now I'm gonna just pour some oil down in there. And I'm just gonna let that sit. And then I got some cardboard right underneath there. So I'll let that sit for a little bit, and then if anything leaks out, it'll show on the cardboard. All right, so I made some marks on my plate here. I'm gonna just straight cut these off and these little pieces up here. And then I'll finish it up on the belt sander and round them off nicely. Just clean it up a little bit and then we'll sit it on the pan. All right, so it's been about a half an hour, so we'll just take a quick peek. Looks good. So now we can just weld that plate on. All right, so I have this fitted on here. Try to keep the plate symmetrical as possible, even though the bottom of the pan is not. But that'll probably be the first thing you see underneath the car. So I want to kind of make that just one piece that looks symmetrical, because I'm going to weld it completely all the way around in here. And I'll probably have to add another piece on top in like 6 months, but we'll start with this. Alright, so I got it completely welded all the way around there. So that should give me some good protection. So now I'm just going to clean all this up and prime the bare metal, and I'm going to repaint the pan. I got the pan all painted now. I used like a high heat engine enamel for that, which comes in a can, and then there's the gasket. So we're gonna just get ahead and start putting this back on. All right, so I got the oil pick up here. I'm just gonna take a little oil, wipe it around the edge here. Like that. I'm gonna line it up in here. So, Try to get it somewhat started. All right, so I have it installed there. So you just want to make sure that there's no like pieces of metal from hammering this in. There's a couple little rough spots here, so I'm just going to go over that, make sure there's nothing loose. Other than that, make sure that's level and kind of flat with the way the pan is, and then we can just go ahead and put the gasket and the pan back in. All right, so I RTV'd all my little corners here. I got the gasket laying in the pan in front of me, so now I'm going to just hang it back up on here. All right, so I got the pan hanging up in there. So now I'm going to run all the rest of the bolts in. All right, so I got all the bolts in for the pan, and now I'm just going to throw a filter in, because I am going to run it just for a little bit, just to clean some of the crap out, and then I'm going to change the oil again. All right, so that's it for today's video. So there's one little thing I left out that I discovered when I was cleaning up the block, getting the gasket off of there. I saw up on the camshaft drips of coolant coming down. So anybody knows coolant in a crankcase, and not a good thing at all. So this is kind of like a blessing in disguise for that pan to get a hole in it, because I would have never known. The engine runs really strong, doesn't misfire or anything like that. So it could be a couple things. So we will get into that next video and address that before we even start this thing back up. So if you enjoyed the video, press like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.